Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the wait is over for the first official trailer for the upcoming Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plusers, which is really not that far away. It's going to release on May 25th, which will, of course, be the 45th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope, the first ever Star Wars film. That's the one that started it all. And now we are harkening back to one of the original Star Wars characters with Obi Wan Kenobi. And like I said, it has been a long way here. Like, I remember back for the Disney Plus Day in November of 2021, we were all hoping to get a trailer back then. That never happened. We did get some kind of like sizzle reel thing, which I did do a breakdown of on the channel. But then since then we got the release date, we got a poster, and it's just been creeping our way towards that release date. And now today we finally have this first official trailer, which is honestly pretty great, because I'm gonna admit that prior to this trailer I wasn't really that like overly hyped for this series. Like, obviously I was excited for it. Like, they're bringing back Ewan McGregor as Obi Wan Kenobi. That's great, getting to see this period of this character in between the prequel movies and the original trilogy. Also bringing back Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. So there's some cool stuff here that I was excited for, but nothing that was really getting me overly hyped. And that's probably due to the fact that I didn't really know much about what's going to be happening in the series, what characters are going to be here. But now, after this trailer, just the whole vibe of it feels so cinematic. It literally feels like a Star Wars movie, possibly even better than a Star Wars movie, because series format allows you to tell more story and really dive into the characters and stuff. So that's something I'm really excited to see here. Also, the trailer music for this, using Duel of the Fates, brilliant. Absolutely just beautiful to see. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and finally jump into this and break down the first official trailer for the Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. So we open up on the sands of Tatooine, the desert sands. We got, of course, the twin suns up there. And Obi-Wan is currently at this point in time trying to kind of just lay low. You know, he just evaded Order 66. He even says that the fight is done, but we lost. And so now he's kind of just trying to lay low, keep a low profile and everything, make sure that he doesn't get caught, so that he doesn't get murdered and executed like his former fellow Jedi. Now we do get a quick look at young Luke Skywalker, who of course is under the care and supervision of Owen Lars, of course a character that we saw both in the original trilogy and in the prequels, with Joel Edgerton returning to the role here. We see him later in the trailer, but we do have a young Luke here being very reminiscent of his father in the Phantom Menace, with the whole pod racing thing. So that's kind of cool, you know, like father like son. And as you can see, Obi-Wan is watching him. He even says stay hidden, and he's not only talking about himself, but also of course talking about Luke Skywalker, trying to keep him hidden from Anakin, because at this point in time Anakin does not know that he has kids. He thought that they died in childbirth, just like Padme. So he's kind of just keeping a watchful eye on Luke. Of course, Leia is off elsewhere with the more hierarching people, as you know, she becomes a princess and all that stuff. But Lucasfilm, I love the logo for that, the choral music playing. And this is where we get interesting, because we get to see what our villains are doing in this series with trying to execute fully Order 66, because the Inquisitors are hunting down the Jedi. So we get our first look at the Grand Inquisitor in live action, the live action debut of this character, just like how we got the recently live action debut of like Black Chrysanthemum and also Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is giving us the live action debut of the Grand Inquisitor, which is really awesome. Now, if you don't know who the Grand Inquisitor is, or just the Inquisitors in general, basically they're kind of like henchmen for Darth Vader that go out and, you know, use lightsabers and are strong with the Force and everything, and just basically are Jedi assassins, which is honestly pretty cool. And the Grand Inquisitor is kind of the leader of these assassins, and they were introduced in the Star Wars Rebels animated series. So we get to see him here, and here's a little bit of a comparison between his debut in Star Wars Rebels and this live action version of the character. And I gotta admit, I'm not a big fan of his look. I feel like, I don't know, like the animated design, he just looks more skinnier and like his head is more thin. So I would have liked that more if they went with more of that design, but you know, they're using prosthetics and makeup and everything, so it makes sense that maybe they weren't able to do that. But still, I mean, we're getting the character in live action. He still looks cool. I feel like they should have done more, like, I don't know, like black around the eyes or something to just create that feel, because his eyes in the animated series look super dark and depressing and just look like a bottomless hole of darkness, whereas the live action version kind of just looks like human eyes, which obviously it actually is the actor's eyes, Rupert Friend, who is playing the character. But you know, it's not terrible. I'm not completely against it, but you know, could have used some work. But it's still cool that we're seeing the live action debut of that character. And he mentions how Jedi cannot help what they are. Obi-Wan again just trying to blend in, lie low here. We get this great shot of some of the Inquisitors here, some stormtroopers in the background working with the Empire. Here's another Inquisitor who I believe is going to be one of the main Inquisitors that we'll be seeing throughout their series, or this series. And then we get our first look in this trailer at Joel Edgerton's return as Owen Lars. And all we needed to see if, and most likely how, this show actually shows us what leads to Owen and Obi-Wan's kind of differences of opinion and kind of that tension between those two characters, and why Owen is against Luke training to be a Jedi and why Ben or Obi-Wan is for it. So we get a great shot right there. Again, Obi-Wan just kind of trying to lay low. You know, he's got the hood up and everything, his classic cloak. Another great shot of the Grand Inquisitor here, looking so cool, using his cool double-sided red lightsaber with the cool ring handle thing. So that's awesome. Honestly, this looks like a great shot right there. This is another Inquisitor leading these stormtroopers. I believe this is the fifth brother. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what it looks like, just judging off the other Inquisitors that were introduced in the Star Wars Rebels series. Here's another shot of that female Inquisitor that we saw earlier on. This is something really cool that I wanted to mention. I believe these are Minox. Now, Minox, I'm not sure if we've seen these in live action before. I don't remember off the top of my head. But what I know them from is from Disney Infinity. If you played that video game, like some of the Star Wars missions that you went on, like you'd have to go around shooting Minox. So that's where I know them from. And it is kind of a quick shot here, so I don't really know for sure. It could be some kind of weird Star Wars bird. But I believe these are Minox. Then again, don't quote me on that. But then the trailer ends with Obi Wan Kenobi just being all concerned here. And all of a sudden you hear the breathing of Darth Vader. Now, we don't get to actually see Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, in this trailer, but we do know that he's returning, so that is great. And I think this is actually better, that maybe they're saving his appearance for the series. Maybe if or when we get another trailer for the show before it comes out, maybe they'll show him then, or maybe they will just leave it as a surprise for the show. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm definitely really excited. I think this looks really great. Again, Star Wars Obi Wan Kenobi, a limited series streaming only on May 25th. So limited series, that means it's only going to be these 6 episodes. And that's it. No season 2 or anything like that. It's just this one concise story that takes place between the prequel movies and the original trilogy. So, guys, there's a lot to be excited about here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about the first official trailer for the Obi Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series? Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the Star Wars life.